Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back, or if you're new here, thank you so much for checking out my channel. My name is Lauren, or if you know me from Instagram, I go by Lauren Roy Nasty. And so today I create this look. You can tell by the title, it's influenced by NikkieTutorials video she just did in the haunted forest. I'm not really a ghosty person, but I love spooky things, so it was a really cool video. It took me a while to create this look. This is actually the second time I'm filming it, and I still can't get it completely right. I don't know exactly what I want to change, but it was such a cool look. I don't know how she sat in a haunted forest by herself, because it took me a while, and I would never be able to sit there by myself because a creepy person would probably just walk up and be like, "What are you doing alone in the woods?" You'd just be like, "I'm just doing my Halloween makeup." I think that the look came out pretty cool. I think the mouth is what throws me off. My teeth look really white, which is very nice, but it just it doesn't vibe with me. I think it's because my mouth's a little uneven, so it just, you know, it kind of throws the whole thing off, but I still really like the way the look came out, and if you want to see how I created it, just keep on watching. Alright, let's get into it. So as you can tell, I already did one eye off camera because I've already filmed this and I really wanted to get it right, and so I just did this like no pressure, just taking my time so I could figure out how I wanted to place everything, and I really like how this eye came out, so now I'm going to show you how I created it on my other eye. I'm using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Palette. And one thing I could suggest for this look is have a color switch. I have a Sony Casha color switch. And just keep this handy with a bunch of brushes, because we're using a lot of dark colors here. So you want to make sure that you are not getting color where you don't want it, or this specific color. So I'm going to go into this kind of tan camel shade. I don't have the Jaclyn Hill palette that had the names on it. I think it did at one point, like they changed it. And they came out with a new one that had names, but mine's kind of old, so I don't have that. So now I'm going to go into that tan camel-y shade and go in on the brow. Just kind of build this upward. I kind of drew out the shape that I wanted when I started, because that was my problem yesterday. I just ended up at a weird kind of shape that I didn't like that much. And you really want to work lightest to darkest here, because a problem I was running into yesterday was just picking up the product. If I wanted to blend a lighter color over whatever I had going on at the moment, I was just picking up the product and it was just moving it all around, and it ended up looking patchy. And so if you work with your lightest base color first into the rest of your colors, you won't have that issue. And we could bring this down the nose a little bit. I already did this side of the nose just because it was easiest to incorporate the whole thing into the look. And you just basically make a triangle shape. You could see that right there. It's just a big triangle. Now I'm going to mix a couple of colors. So I wanted to keep this a pretty neutral kind of light green, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this mac and cheese kind of yellow shade, the same shade we were using, and one dot of that foresty green shade. Just tap it in quickly, you don't want a whole lot. And then I'm just going to go kind of above the brow and kind of just work this color into this little triangle shape we created. And you're just using a really light hand, because this is a look that you have to build. You build on every single color. And this is actually a pretty simple look. It's not that hard to do because you just slap some black onto the eyelid. And the hardest part is just making sure you get a kind of nice gradient. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I think that it looks really nice. And it's just remembering to keep it light, don't go insane with it. Also, I just worked the eyebrows into the look, because in Nikkie's video, she didn't do anything with her brows. She has slightly less full brows than me. So, you know, they're a little more prominent in my look, but I kind of like it in a way. I think they look really cool. You could also block them out. I think that could be cool. Right now I'm just going back in with the brush that we used for the first initial shade, and I'm cleaning it off so there's basically no product on it. And I'm just going to kind of fan this out a little bit. Kind of going into the hairline. Alright, now I think I'm going to go into the eyeliner. So I'm using a Maybelline Eye Studio just gel pot eyeliner. And I'm going to go in with a kind of dense shader brush. And I'm just going to pack a bunch of eyeliner onto there. You could also use like a stick eyeliner, like a jumbo kind of crayon liner. But I just went with this because I felt like it got a lot of color off onto the lid quickly and I could kind of disperse it pretty easily. So this is literally just putting a bunch of black eyeliner onto your eyelid. And you could see why I didn't put so much color on any like transition shade on the lid, because it's just all black. You don't really need to waste time putting a transition there. But this look was actually not that hard to create. It took a lot of focus. Like I had to turn the camera off and just do the one eye. So I think that this eye would be perfect for anyone to do for Halloween. I think it's a pretty easy, simple look. And a lot of people already have the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. You could use any kind of palette that has kind of like mystical, naturey shades in it. Like greens, purples, golds, all that kind of stuff. And don't worry, we're going to go in with the black shadow that's in this palette to even out the black in here. Also, I ended up using the eyeliner that I used in my waterline on this eye. It's a Sephora just like jumbo crayon eyeliner. And if there were any little like kind of bald spots, I just like tapped the eyeliner on there and it got rid of them. Because with these colors, with really dark colors, you know, you're going to end up getting a little bit of unevenness. And now I can start kind of sketching out what I want to do there. Just want to make sure it's even. So what I also did was I used a flat shader brush that I have and dipped it into the eyeliner. And now I'm going to go in and just make sure that these two sides are pretty even. So hard to tell. And you could also go with your lower lash line. That's how I did the other eye. I just wanted to make it so that the top part of the lid and the lower lash line met up kind of equally. So that's what I'm doing, just using my lower lash line to trace out this line. And you could bring it to your hairline, because as you can see here, the black meets up with my hairline. And then I'm just going to sweep this out. Alright, that actually looks pretty symmetrical, these two sides. That is the hardest part, is the gradient and making sure that everything is pretty even. And you could use a really small brush for this. It's just that I was doing such a big like wing, like it's not even really a wing. But I just wanted a big brush so I could get the job done quickly. But if you really want to be precise, like super precise with this look, then I say go in with a pretty small brush. So I'm going into the brow just a little bit with this black eyeliner because I am just meshing the brow with the look, but you don't want a bunch of skin peeking through because it's gonna, you know, distort the illusion that you are a woodland creature and your skin is just naturally this beautiful and shimmery. So you want to make sure that you keep that illusion going a little bit. And now I'm just going to outline the eye a little bit because I just want to make sure that I'm getting that kind of like bird look where like the color dips down and creates a curvature to your eye, so it's like hooking in and then going out. Creates a kind of cool illusion. Makes you look a little otherworldly, a little bird-like if you're into birds. Alright, so I'm liking where this is going. I think I'm gonna go in with the jumbo crayon from Sephora and tightline my eye. I did tight line, I didn't just do the lower lash line. And tight lining with a jumbo pencil is probably the best thing in my opinion because you just drag it through your whole eye and then it just works. Just gets every nook and cranny. And here I'm just, you know, kind of blocking out more spots that I think could use a little bit more black. And now I'm going to go in with a flat shader brush and go into the black shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette and just start setting the eyelid. And this really, it brings the opacity up. It just makes the black look that much more like spooky and really opaque. I'm telling you, this is really, it's not a very hard look to recreate. It's just putting a bunch of black on your eye. And I'm really only concerned about the edges underneath the eye just because I want it to look a little bit cleaner. And this eye, for some reason, I did so well in the other eye, but this one is a little bit harder. And now I'm gonna go in with a completely clean brush. It has a little bit of black on it, but I used it just to diffuse the product on this eye. So I'm just cleaning it off. And I'm gonna go in and start diffusing the black shadow a whole lot. You're really gonna like blow out the black shadow here. And you bring it down and you see how it starts to look like the other side of the nose. But I'm not gonna do that underneath the eye. Just gonna do it around these areas. Just add a little bit more there. And we're gonna clean up the center of the nose a little bit and just kind of brush it through the brow, bring it up a little bit. We're gonna end up placing a lot of dark green here, so this area isn't too much of a worry. Now I'm gonna clean off the brush again. I'm gonna go along this edge, just kind of sweep around it, just to blend everything together. Yeah, so now I'm going in with a kind of dense packing shader brush, and I'm just going to place this green. I'm gonna keep looking in the mirror just to make sure that it's symmetrical. I think everyone should use a big mirror with like Halloween looks like this, just because you're gonna want to keep everything pretty symmetrical and you're gonna have to look at both sides of your face a couple of times. Now I'm gonna clean off that brush with the color switch and just continue to blend the green. Again, just remember to be patient with this look. It's really not that hard to do, but it is easy to mess up. Now I'm gonna go in with the tan camely color. I'm just going to mix that a little bit, because that's how I created this kind of brown shade. It was just mixing that camely color with the foresty green. Now again, I'm gonna clean off my brush, making sure I'm not putting excess product on my face. Gonna add a little bit more green. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more black. I think maybe we should do the nose really quickly. Going into the camel kind of shade. I'm just going to outline the nose and kind of drag it down. You can see on this side of the nose, I kind of fluffed the color out this way. Cleaning off the brush, diffusing that color a little bit, and meshing the tan and the black. Now I'm gonna go in with the brush I've been using for the forest green. Really get off the excess, like really don't have a lot of product on your brush. And just go along the side of the nose and underneath, and then into that spot where we fluffed out some of the color. It actually looks pretty good, pretty even with the other one. Just gonna add a little bit of black shadow. And I'm just gonna clean up the center of my nose using my beauty blender. And maybe just putting no excess product on here, just going to go up the bridge of the nose, just to kind of blend the sides inwards. Alright, now I think we could add some shimmer to the nose. So I'm going to add a little bit of the gold that I used. Perfect. And add a little bit, kind of just right in the middle. And I think it's a really good idea to use your fingers for this part, just so that you have really good control over the product placement. I think we should go into the highlights on our eyes. So I'm going in with the gold shade, this gold shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to go into the inner corner and keep this pretty concentrated to just this side. Gonna loop it around, go under the eye, about 1/3 of the way under your lash line. I'm just going to work this up and out towards the center of the lid. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. We could do the little bit of shimmer up here, right above the brow. You're going to kind of follow the edge of the triangle that you made and bring the gold this way and just create like a little divot, kind of like, well, I can't show it with my fingers, but it's like boom, boom. Alright, and I'm going to go into my color switch and take off that product and kind of diffuse the edges. Alright, now we could add the green shimmer down the side. This shimmery green shade in the palette right here. You're just going to load up a flat shader brush. This is a NYX one. It is the number 14. I love this brush for packing on shimmers. And you're going to kind of make a line that's a little bit angular right next to the center of your eye, and just going out a little bit. And like every other thing, we're going to diffuse this color out, but you're just going to really pack it in the center and then start pulling that shimmer out on both sides. And I'm kind of bringing it in to meet with the gold, but not too far. You still want to keep them kind of separate. And this is such a pretty shade on top of a black. This green kind of shimmer is just so pretty. And just a touch more, kind of like a brow highlight. And I'm going to go into the color switch and just diffuse it out a little bit up on the top. Okay, now I think we should do the face on this side. So this part is kind of hard, especially I don't think my base is done that well. I should have used a pore filling primer because I just have a little bit of patchiness over here, but it's okay, we're making it work. So what we're doing here is we're kind of creating false cheekbones by giving our cheeks a new kind of shape. So what you're going to do is use a small kind of powder brush, whatever you have to maybe do your contour with, and you're going to go into the tan camel shade with a really light hand. You're going to start doing like a J on your face, and we're just outlining our new kind of cheek shape. I actually kind of like it better without any of the green. I might cover this up a little bit. Yeah, I think it looks much better without the green. Alright, so I just fixed up this side a little bit, and now I'm going into the tannish camel shade again, really sweeping off the excess. And with a light hand, creating that new kind of cheek shape. I'm really trying to blend these two spots together. The kind of blown out nose contour and our new cheek contour. A brush I used earlier and just paint my lips with some black eyeliner. And this is not something everyone would do, but I really don't mind the eyeliner on the lips. I don't have any black liquid lipsticks that I like, and this works just as well in my opinion. So just going to paint on some black lips. And although we are going to kind of diffuse this color as well, I still think it's good to keep the lip line pretty even, pretty clean, just because you don't want it to like go further than it has to, you know? Alright, and now I'm going to go in with a black shadow and kind of set everything down. And this will take you a little while, but just take your time, just be patient, because you don't want to mess it up. And now, doing kind of swirling motions, just going to diffuse the color. I'm using a pretty clean brush and sweeping off just to make sure. Just going to blend that out. Alright, so dispersing the product on the lip definitely took me a little while, but now I just want to highlight the lip. So using the same gold shade I used on the eyes, I'm just going to place that on the center of the lip, and now I'm going to do the Cupid's bow. Wow, that looks like mystical. Kind of looks like I have a mustache. Kind of looks like I have a mystical mustache. Alright, so I just checked it out in the camera, and it does look a little bit weird, but I think I'm going to keep it because I think it does keep the look pretty cohesive. And I was just off camera, I put on some mascara and I deepened up the contour a little bit. I think I'm going to keep going with that. I think that it could definitely be a little bit more intense. This is definitely, it's better than yesterday. The lip is a little different. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because I brought it up so high. I think it looks a little bit better when it's a little lower. I think that really quick I'm gonna do my hair off camera, put on some earrings, and then we'll talk about the completed look. So this is the completed look overall. I think it actually turned out really nice. I definitely like it better than what I did yesterday. I kind of did like a horn look where the look turned inwards, but I just thought it kind of like cut everything off, and if you don't have a perfectly symmetrical face, I think it looks a little weird, so it just didn't look that great, but I thought it was really, really good. The mouth is like weird. I can't get this look right. I really like it. I think I might try doing it again, maybe for a Halloween party or something with a different kind of lip and maybe more face product. I just didn't want the face to get too like overpowered with like dark product just because there's so many dark colors on my face already. But whole thing was created using the Jaclyn Hill palette, so if you have this palette you can definitely recreate the look or take another spin on it. There's a lot of cool colors in here that you could use. I like the idea of using one of these purples or blues in the look. I think that could look really, really cool. So if you decide to recreate this look, please tag me in it, please let me know. I had a great time creating it. It's a fun look. It's more out there. I feel like you don't see a lot of kind of like forest nymph kind of ideas. So thank you so much to NikkieTutorials for, you know, inspiring me to create a look like this. I think it's pretty cool. It could probably use some work, but I had a really good time. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you learned something new, maybe about me, maybe about the makeup. And I hope you're having a spectacular, spooky October. All right, bye guys.